Yes. That means we have to go back to the inn, we have to talk to Cecile, we have to talk to Zoltan, we have to play some dice. There's still a long journey ahead of us. In any case, the fact of further exploration. Last time we went directly over here towards the Palace of the Three Kings, or whatsoever it was called, or the Palace of the Three Fathers. I'm not too sure if I'm going to find a whole lot, seeing how it is nighttime right now, but in the meantime I can still snoop around at least a little bit, and perhaps take something useful here and there. I mean, if nobody is complaining about it, why should I? At least for the time being. A few extra swords, and all the good stuff that I can sell. That's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Okay, can I enter this? Locked. Okay, now I don't know if this is indeed the case of it's locked because it is nighttime, so just to be safe, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of meditation just to wait out the day again. 10 in the morning shall be good enough. At least, so I hope. Let me see, it's still closed? Yeah, okay, understandable. Alright, that means we only have these houses in this area remaining. And after that, why am I being directed to Igor Vivaldi?
Would you look at that, friends? Geralt of Rivia. Coincidences do happen.
Wait, Vivaldi?
Greetings.
You don't know me, but I know you.
Yeah, Vivaldi's bank.
I'm an employee of the Vivaldis Bank, and on business here, and to check up on the local mine's profitability.
Vivaldi doing all right?
Full of beans. And as per the instructions given to each of the bank's agents, I hasten to inform you that you have unlimited credit.
I could use a loan about now.
Sure thing. However, my means are limited. I can offer you the standard short-term loan for those working in high-risk professions. Will that do you?
Vivaldi knows me. Does that get me anything? Vivaldi was the owner of a bank in the first Witcher game, and we kinda saved everyone in that bank when the Scoia'tael attacked at that point in time. So, maybe?
I'm sure Vivaldi wouldn't mind if I borrowed a bit more than that.
It's nearly all I've got on me, but I'll manage somehow. I think I've heard of
Okay, I'm not sure how much I just got, but no clue.
So, we were working
Anyway, can we talk about more stuff?
Speed, Witcher.
No. Okay, so
Take care, what's up? Canaries
just a bit of extra money? Sure, I guess, no problem. I'm okay with that. In the meantime, big gate over here, where does it... That leads outside, I believe. And we also have those houses over here. Another blacksmith up there? Several blacksmiths in Vergen. Interesting. Can I talk to any of you? Thorak. Hi, let's trade. Let's see if you've got anything interesting. And also, I need to sell stuff. Well, I know for a fact that I'm going to take all your silver ore at least. I mean, that will be useful. Not too sure if you've got anything else. I purchased the robust silver sword, didn't I? The diagram for it. The red meteorite and robust red meteorite sword. Yeah, so do you have anything else that might be of interest to me? Not really. Okay, well, good enough. I need to go back to the inn to grab my stuff. Don't mind in the meantime that I'm gonna check your workshop. I'm sure you don't mind. There's more stuff that I can sell. Carabella. Okay, that sounds interesting. It is not so interesting. Oh, and I need a key for the lockbox. Interesting. Not sure where I would get that key from. That's a pickaxe. And I'm making a mess of the place. Sorry. Okay, so keeping that key thing in mind, won't be able to get that from you, I'm guessing. So maybe somewhere else in the future, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. You're locked. So that leaves the big gate and this house over here. Are you also locked? No, you're not. Alright, let's see. What have we got? Several containers, just a few orens. Is that all that there is here? I mean, I'm looking for the good stuff. If there is something worthwhile here. Something like a book, The Art of Magic maybe. More orens. I like that. Let's see, The Art of Magic. The power that sorcerers can command is commonly called magic. In the opinion of a certain sorceress I'm acquainted with, magic is chaos, an art and a science, a curse, a blessing and progress. However poetic it may sound, it is hard to find a better simile. Everything depends on the person that uses that power, of course. Still, it is a fact that it can be used to achieve things not possible to normal humans. The Witcher's signs are also a form of magic, but sorcerers look at them with disdain, since they cannot be compared to the forces the sorcerers themselves command. Without magic, our world would certainly be less interesting, and many beautiful things would be forgotten. Witcher signs in general are just parlor tricks in the end, I'm guessing. But even so, ooh, another book. Excuse me, can I? The Dun Banner. The Dun Banner rose to fame during the last wars with Nilfgaard, a Kedwenni light cavalry regiment. Initially, it patrolled the area around Ban Glian. Called to the front, it proved its mettle during the incursion into Upper Eddon, but it was the chroniclers of the Battle of Brenna who made the unit famous. Because history likes to repeat itself, several years later the Dun Banner once again led Hensel's foray into Eddern. This time it suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of an ostensible ally, no less, the sorcerer Sabrina Glefesig. Decimated beyond resurrection, the unit was never reformed, and its characteristic cloak and beaver skin caps, which once bred terror in the hearts of Kedwen's foes, became a thing of the past, though they remain identifying marks by which the unit's few surviving former members recognize one another. So, the banner itself and beaver skin caps. Interesting. Might be information I need later. I mean, it's all about the war that happened in the past. I'm going to need all the information that I can get, and I need to stop playing around with fire. Also, dear God, this is a bigger house than I originally thought it would be. But if it contains more orens, the White Flame and the Conclave of Mages. I'm okay with more money. The White Flame. Emir Far Emreis. Among all the rulers of that time, one cannot omit the Nilfgaardian emperor, known as Dethwen Aden Karp, which means in Elder speech, White Flame dancing on the barrows of his enemies. I am not going to pronounce that name. Kings from the Buena to the Uraga trembled at the sound of his name, mostly because they couldn't pronounce it. His legions of steel-clad soldiers crushed countries under their heels and cast monarchs from their thrones. In his insatiable ambition, he had tried to conquer the north on several occasions, yet he had been forced to sign peace accords each time. Though he does not appear in our story personally, his long shadow often fell over the events I describe here. This Emir Far Emreis, or Emreis, whatsoever, leader, Nilfgaardian emperor, he's a big issue. And I have a feeling, is he going to make use of all the madness that's currently going on in the north? Because if I was a ruler, I would make use of this turmoil. The Conclave of Mages. The Conclave was, next to the Supreme Council of Sorceresses, one of the two main bodies ruling the magicians. The most powerful sorcerers of their times sat on it. One of its duties was regulating the standards and rules of using magic. The ban on necromancy was one of its edicts. Before the Thanet rebellion, a large part of the conclave conspired with Nilfgaard. During those times, most of its members died, the sole survivor being Francesca Vindebear, who right now is ruling a massive city, and she was dancing to the tunes of Nilfgaard as well. After the coup, the conclave was not reactivated, thus many mages do not respect the restrictions it had created. So you get rebellion wizards and mages and sorceresses and lots of fun times. Okay, there is a lot of interesting information in this house, by the way. I'm liking it. And more stuff to sell, leather. Not too much actual good stuff in regards to lots of orens. It's all just small, spare pocket money here and there. But nonetheless, I shall take it. So all that leaves right now is this big gate in this area. Metallurgist's Gates. Which does not open. Do I have any information on that by any chance? I do not have any information on that, but I do have a few more quest updates. Where's Triss Marigold? It turned out that someone in Vergen might have encountered Triss. A dwarf had seen a red-headed woman fall from the sky. The witcher decided this had not been the passenger of an unruly broom, and assumed instead that it had been Triss falling out of a portal. He immediately went to see the dwarf. Soon enough, death symbolized. One of the artifacts needed to lift the curse from the battlefield was to symbolize death. Having no idea what it was to look for, the witcher took Philippa's advice and decided to talk to Cecil Burden. Vergen's alderman knew a lot about the battle between the Kidwani and Eternian armies, so he would likely give Geralt a good lead. And the hatred symbolized? The witcher learned that to lift the curse from the battlefield, he would need mementos of the battle representing the virtues and horrors of war. He was concerned because he knew very little about the clash between the Eternian and Kedwin armies. Philippa Eilhart told him to see Cecil Burden. Again, Cecil is all-knowing right here, right now. Before we go and talk with Cecil though, there's still this part to explore. I want to at least check out what the merchants have for sale, and after that we can look at the other stuff. I know I will have to go over here for hunting magic, so Scalen Burden is right over here. I'm gonna check out the marketplace, then we go back to the tavern and see what we can do. We'll have to work in small segments over here. Take stuff slowly, and even if I were to try something, do you think a crossbow is going to stop me? Witches can parry bolts in mid-flight with ease.
That is, if they're paying attention. And even then, one arrow or bolt can be stopped, but what if you're attacked from multiple directions? Just because you like to flaunt that information around, it doesn't mean it's actually of great value.
Anyway, hi, Felicia Corey.
My pentacles intrigue you?
Indeed. I'd like to see them up close.
Let's start with introductions then. I'm Felicia Corey, and you're Geralt of Rivia.
My name precedes
Why
me.
the surprised face? I heard about you in school.
In school?
Whether you like it or not, you're a hero of contemporary history, and of the love stories we read beneath our blankets.
Oh boy.
You studied at Aretusa?
Yes, though I'm still to finish my potion and fetish internship, which is why I'm here.
And you're doing it under Philippa Eilhart's watchful eye. Any way I can help you?
Help from a hero of our readings? Now that's drawing on sources for real. I'd be grateful. The locals are reluctant to buy magic items, and I really need to pass.
Let's see what I can do.
Let's see what I can do indeed. Oh, you can change my hairstyle. You know, I kind of like my hairstyle. Do you have any other options in that regard? Buy my hair into a ribbon ponytail. That's what we started with. Squirrel still half. Yeah. You know, I like what I got going on currently, so I think I changed my mind. I'm gonna stick with what I currently got. In the meantime, though, I can play dice with you. So much dice playing. I'm never gonna stop. Let's do some trading first. You gotta contain myself at least a little bit. And also, gotta get rid of some useless junk. Oh, you've got some interesting stuff. I see here the rudiments of pathomorphology, and also the Immortals or the Dwarven Herb. This is a book useful in conducting autopsies, and this is the herb known as the Immortal. I am going to get both of these. Lure of the Temptress describes succubi. Oh, we're gonna face succubi too. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to do this. I want to be prepared. The horror of war, rot fiends. I already got information on rot fiends, if I'm right. Harpies I know about. Arakas I know about. Drowners, Neckers, 3 years among the Endriga, Wraiths. Bruxa or Bruxa. Eulogist of Death. I will take that one too. How to kill a bull for. I don't even know what a bull for is, so I will need this. Beings of the element of earth. Earth elementals. Oh, I am losing so much money right now, but this is all useful. It contains all available knowledge on trolls. Slaves and the curse on... Drog here. This is what I want to know about. Oh my god. And also book on normal... on drogs. So much money going down the drain. Gargoyles, gutter splutters, maintenance and repair on gargoyles. The Temerian Royal Dynasty, Voltor's daughter, magic and power. Mention the nature. This is all the stuff that I don't need. Pontar Valley from the information on dwarves. The Dun Banner, I already read that. Okay, that's good, that's good. That's a lot of money lost, but lots of information on monsters. And you also sell Arca's Eyes and a Troll Tongue, which I no longer need. Oh, and you also... You sell a quest item, surgical tools. Have I ever seen someone sell a quest item like this? In any case, I'm going to take these just in case. Surgical tools will be handy anyway for my kids, so don't mind if I do. Thank you very much. In the meantime, let's quickly do one more game of dice because I want to beat everyone. And after that, let's do a little bit of reading on all of these monsters. Come on, give me something good that does not look brilliant at all. Really, what am I supposed to do with this? And again, you're cheating. You're 100% cheating. Come on, show me where the money is, because my money is all in her pockets right now, and I want it back. It's something, one pair, and you've got... why do you have a full house? Why? That's... At this point in time, I'm truly beginning to believe that all of these dice poker players are cheating. They're using magic to cheat me out of money, because how else are you going to get... Okay, this is a more reasonable roll, let's say that. Still, you're cheating. Definitely cheating. I'm gonna win by outbidding you. No, you don't. Okay, fine. Then I'll beat you normally. 2 pairs, you can't beat that. Spoke too soon. Honestly, if it's not losing money on books, it's losing money on dice poker. My luck. My typical luck. Alright, come on, show me the money. That is looking brilliant. It's a draw. Of course. Fine. I'm going to win. You're not going to keep my money. You're going to get a little bit more by the looks of things right now, because these dice rolls are horrendous. How? What am I supposed to do here? Oh my god. Oh, now that looks promising. Oh, yes. Starting with a full house. Finally, luck is on my side and there's no way you're gonna win from this. Hell no. Come on, I've got the best possible dice roll here. So let's do this. I'm gonna increase it slightly. Don't resign. Of course you resigned. Fine, keep my money. But I did win. And that's what matters. That's all that matters right now.
1 victory at the cost of around 50 orens. And you've had worse cases of pay to win.
Okay, we'll read up on the books a little bit later. I want to see what the rest of the merchants have for sale.
That would be something.
That would be something indeed. I don't think I've ever heard of a dwarf witcher before, so... Mael,
You
hi.
repair armor, right?
Right.
You work just for your elves?
Not just.
You don't say much, do you?
And they said you're grumpy.
Interesting. Oh, and I can roll dice with you too. Okay, let's trade. Oh my god. Dragon scale armor, but it costs 2,894. That's some amazing armor, but also extremely bloody expensive. How about no? How about no? You do sell silver ore, and I will take that. I'll always need silver ore. These merchants, they sell some really interesting stuff. Drog armor. A diagram, purely a diagram. It costs 1,301. Some of this stuff is insane. I'll never get enough money for this. Never.
So it's really haunted now.
Oh god.
It is.
Okay, anyone else?
You should make it a man.
Yes, I associate with saucers. You've got nothing to say. You're a merchant. Spark.
Oh, another traveller. From where? Wait, let me guess.
From Temeria.
Had it at the tip of my tongue.
I'm sure of
So,
it.
what brings you to Vergen? Wait, I know.
No, you don't.
Just what I thought. And you're...
A witcher.
Well, well. We don't often see witches here.
Yeah, we're a dying breed.
What do witches do anyway?
We solve problems.
Oh, I have a problem with my boyfriend.
Not
Did
those
you
kinds
find
of
his
problems.
entrails strewn on the porch and his head a few paces away? Because those are the kind of problems I solve.
Well, that's easy. Anyway, let's trade. Let's see. Do you have anything? You just sell junk. Okay, fine. Okay, does your girlfriend have anything to say? I can use that. Turn out the fire. Let's not. Felix Favela.
Oh, Witcher, I'm glad I found you. I've got something for you.
Okay.
Know each other?
So surprised by a stranger bearing gifts?
Always.
Ah, you humans, egotistical barbarians you are. I was in Flotsam when the massacre started.
You were?
Just accept it. I won't take no for an answer.
Thanks.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. What did I get though? An axe? I think I got an axe. Maybe a bit of money, but I got an axe. Well, fine by me. I can sell it. Brilliant. It's a gift. A gift is a gift. And you two have nothing else to say to me. All right, in that case. Yeah, I think we're done in that case with the merchant district over here. That's going straight outside of where we originally came from, I guess. Yeah. Okay, in that case, I am gonna go sell some of my stuff that I currently got once again, and after that, I'm to see where Cecil is and if we can maybe encounter some other stuff inside of the inn. Alright, I have gotten 2 red meteorite out of my storage upstairs. Dandelion's right over here. I might need you later, because I have a feeling, according to my journal, that you're gonna be involved with something soon. Let me see, who did I need to speak to? I think it was... Abel? No, it was not you. Who did I need to talk to again? Okay, I cannot remember which dwarf it was. I thought it was wearing green, but I currently don't know. Anyway,
look,
let's see what we can
Let
do.
me tell you,
You let one human in, and in no time you've got a swarm.
Yeah, I need to talk to
I've
you.
told that story 1,000 times. I've heard enough of flying women.
It was very unusual.
What would be unusual is if you return home sober for once. You won't trick me into buying you around.
Well, maybe I can buy you around.
I heard you saw something interesting.
As clearly as I see you. Amazing. I look into the sky. But wait, you must buy a fellow a drink for such a story.
Well,
Yeah.
you shut it already. We can all recite this bullshit now.
Yeah?
I'm a client and I'll say what I want. Pour me some Mahakaman mead and no cheating. This noble wayfarer will pay.
How expensive is it? I'm currently on a budget, but I'll pay. 15? That should work, right?
I'll pay. But
There
if
we
you
go.
bore me, I'll shove this meat up your ass.
But such a fine liquor. And my ass has no taste. You won't regret it.
Speak.
We'll see.
Last week I was passing by the gullies. I like to take a hike from time to time.
Get to the point.
Hush. So I'm walking and suddenly there's a flash, a crack. I'm thinking a storm's coming, but nary a cloud in the sky.
You hit the ground with your arse so hard you saw a flash. You were that drunk.
Then I saw people lying in a gully as if they'd fallen from the sky, a man and a woman.
Yep, he's telling the
woman
truth.
was so beautiful, I wished she'd fallen down on me.
The meat can still go up your ass. Okay, what did she look like? Red-haired?
What did the woman look like?
A redhead, wearing a vest and high shoes with pert tits and a round arse. Just
Okay, you
waiting
can
to
stop
be
right
grabbed
now.
Sounds just like your old lady.
Shut your mouth.
Okay, and about the man?
What happened then?
Well, the woman was hurting, couldn't get up. The man clearly disliked her, because he didn't help her. He just stood there, menacing and talking, and then he left. And the redhead stayed.
Wait,
Noticed her tits, but didn't even try to help her, you sod.
so...
I was about to do exactly that when a troll came out of the gully, ugly as shit after blueberries.
Did it attack her?
Not at all. I hid and saw everything. First he sniffed her, so I thought he'd eat her. But he didn't. He threw her over his shoulder like a sack and returned to the gullies.
Is that all?
Yes. Didn't waste your money, as you'll agree.
You indeed did not waste my money. Such ravines mentioned by the old dwarf. That is interesting. Someone who falls from the sky is likely, in a general sense, to have numerous misadventures and get in trouble at the drop of a hat. The dwarf told the witcher that after dropping from the heavens, the woman had been kidnapped by a troll from the forest ravines. It seems only knights get to deal with dragons and damsels in distress. The witcher had to content himself with a troll and the sorceress. Well, I'll gladly do that, especially because I now know more about trolls. Or I'll soon know more about trolls because I still have to read those books. But you know what? Now is as good a time as any. Gargoyles, gutters, splutters, maintenance and repair. Theorists of magic still argue out how gargoyles should be classified. This author favors the school which claims they are a type of golem. For gargoyles are nothing more than fancy sculptures brought to life by magic in order to perform menial duties. They can complete only the most rudimentary tasks, so they are often found guarding a territory, even if their creator turned to dust long ago. He who seeks to deactivate the creatures permanently must first locate the place from which they are controlled. Once there, he extinguishes the magic runes that control the construct's will. The legendary Accursed contains all available knowledge on Drogs. The Drog is a mythical creature, issuing straight from ancient legends of heroes and their epic deeds. When a hero descends into a fiery hell to rescue his beloved, or when he seeks to avenge his father's death, the Drog is often his opponent. Why are poets so keen to cast this monster as the arch enemy? Well, as a wraith, the Drog fits well into any dark story of a curse or vengeance from the world beyond. Described variously, always as terrifying, its true appearance remains unknown. It is a powerful creature, a prince of the damned, thus making an ideal villain. Slaves of the Curse contains all available knowledge on Draugrs. Drogs are commanders, and Draugrs are their wraith soldiers. A Draug calls Draugrs into existence on battlefields or in cemeteries by the sheer force of his will. Like the Draug himself, these minions arise from damned souls trapped within shells, formed of remnants of arms, armor, war machines and corpses that were torn apart by scavengers. Of trolls and trolling. According to legend, trolls were born of the earth and their body is made of rock. They fear and despise sunlight, which kills them by turning them into inanimate stone, so they only prowl at night. So much for legends. What is reality? Well, as always, the truth is far more mundane. Trolls are living creatures like you and me, and they prefer day to night, for they are so clumsy they stumble over stones in the dark, spilling the vodka they cherish so much. Their skin is indeed hard as stone, but beneath it there are muscles and a heart that pumps blood. Given that they bleed, they can be killed. Beings of the element of Earth, containing all available knowledge on Earth elementals. The Earth element is the younger brother of the legendary Tao, the genie capable of creating earthquakes and flattening mountains. Younger means less powerful, but also more mischievous. Felling trees, toppling the walls of buildings and crushing people into a pulp number among this creature's pranks. Of course, it performs only those its master wishes it to. How to kill a bullfor. The bullfor can be compared to a heap of muscles contained within a flexible yet durable hide. It has the head of a buffalo, yet its mouth is filled with sharp teeth perfectly suited to rending flesh. Bullfors are post-conjunction beasts. Visible marks of chaos include the creature's horns and the vestigial, largely immovable limbs that cover its body. Bruxae, eulogists of death. The Bruxa is a higher vampire that is a post-conjunction creature, an intruder in our worlds. She assumes the form of a beautiful woman and turns terrifying when she grows hungry and attacks. As befits a vampire, the Bruxa drinks blood. The victim of a Bruxa is often both her lover and her chief source of sustenance. Lure of the Temptress, a book describing succubi. The succubus, often mistakenly believed to be a higher vampire, is a post-conjunction creature, therefore a visitor from another world trapped in our reality. The beast has the form of a comely female with hooves instead of feet. However, her partial animal appearance has no meaning for the youth the monster entices like a consummate temptress. Those seduced by a succubus lose their heads, as if it was a woman, and the beast accepts all attention, leading the young men to ruin, draining their life force. One seduced by a succubus becomes melancholic, loses appetite and all interest in the world. Bereft of strength, he moons around with a pale face and sighs heavily. He also reeks of sulfur, as the smell permeates him when he mates with the beastie. To cure him of this fatal addiction, one should acquaint him with pleasant, dowered lassies and treat him to cold decoctions. Just more females and booze. Got it. The Immortelle of the Dwarven Herb. The Dwarven Immortelle is called the Devil's Tail by the dwarves themselves, and Feing Ikar, that is the sun's blood, by the elves. The plant has powerful medicinal properties, but it is relatively unknown and extremely rare. According to elven legend, an archer once managed to pierce the sun with an arrow. The sun's blood dripped from the sky, sinking into the ground so deeply that it penetrated ancient hollows in the rock. This herb may today be found in places where the blood settles. That account may or may not be apocryphal, but it's a fact that the Immortelles is sought after as an ingredient for antidotes and beauty elixirs. It grows in caves and old mines, for it does not require sunlight, and that's why it is described as dwarven. The rudiments of pathomorphology, useful in autopsies. Milo van der Beek. The world should finally understand that examining the dead can save the living. We owe the dead respect, that is true, and that is exactly why such examinations should only be done by doctors or students under the watchful eyes of their professor. In further sections of this work I describe how a respectful dissection should be conducted and what tools should be used to reach the truth with proper respect for the deceased. And with all of that read, we now have a whole lot more information and knowledge on these beasties and how to actually tackle them, which makes me worry we might encounter more trolls in the future, and we will have to face off against bullfors, bruxae, and all kinds of other beasties. Trolls are primitive, true, but they are counted among sapient creatures. They can speak our tongue, though not very colorfully. They mate in pairs for life, and despite what the spiteful would have, they have feelings, even if they express them unceremoniously. All trolls share fondness of building and alcohol. They combine these passions by erecting bridges and drinking away the money gained from collecting tolls. Thus originated the sayings, straight like a troll bridge. When something is twisted, and trolling it a day, when construction workers make a break for lunch. If a troll spots his opponent from a distance, he will try to crush him by throwing huge rocks. Notice that? Extremely painful and deadly. Trolls are surprisingly accurate when throwing missiles, and their thick skin provides them ample protection from arrows, so exchanging fire with them always ends in the troll's victory. Beasts must be reached as fast as possible and slaughtered with strong blows. They are sluggish, so a swordsman that evades first a thrown rock, then rock heavy fist, then a rock heavy fist, I'm guessing, has a chance of survival. One should not take risks, however, and if possible reach an understanding with the monster. Trolls are huge beings, so knocking them down or unbalancing them in combat is highly unlikely. Their ability to regenerate is legendary and means they need not fear wounds or oils increasing bleeding. However, their fast metabolism has a darker side since these monsters are very susceptible to venoms. These swiftly reach all recesses of the trollish body. Bullforce. This monster does not like the company of its kind. One might even say it is like a poet in that it is an individualist. Much like an artist, it likes to show off before its lessers, thus it is at times accompanied by smaller, weaker beasts like neckers and rotfiends. The bullforce are prone to giving peculiar displays wherein they kill their retinue in a fanciful manner, for example by spitting acid on rotfiends that, in turn, explode. As they are slow creatures, the strong style should be used when fighting bullforce. Their skin is tough, so they easily shrug off weaker blows, apart from which they heal as quickly as trolls do. A bullforce can kill slower opponents with the sheer momentum of its terrible charge. One should wait for this attack and dodge it, as immediately after it rushes forth and misses, the bullforce will be stunned and thus defenseless. The bullforce uses a terrifying weapon against swifter foes. It vomits filth that is both caustic and poisonous, so its foe both chokes on the venom and dissolves into a puddle. Very fancy. The bullforce is a necrophage, so it should be fought using a blade coated with necrophage oil. This coating aggravates the beast's wounds and gives the Witcher a huge advantage. There is no point in preparing common poisons or oils that increase bleeding, as the creature is immune to both. The Bruxa find the smell of garlic to be socially inconvenient at most, and she considers holy symbols to be interesting examples of handicraft. She enjoys the light of the sun well, but she prefers the darkness of the night. As you can see, you can stuff most stereotypical preconceptions about vampires up your arse when it comes to Bruxa. So, what works? The blade of a silver sword, as usual. Apart from silver, she can be wounded with fire and a stake, provided that the latter is as long as a wagon's drawbar. Less powerful Bruxae often hunt in packs, making it easier to corner prey. If threatened, they attack with their talons and rip their victims apart, pausing only to savor the blood of their dying foe. The greatest threat to a Witcher is the Bruxa's voice. The creature can screech with such force that the shockwave will knock even a huge man down, making him easy prey for the vampiress. Blindness is as great a threat as this ghastly scream. Bruxae deprive their enemies of sight in order to play cat and mouse with them. Until sight returns, one should defend against their attacks in any possible way, for example by using the Quen sign or running away screaming. The Bruxae have masterful control over their blood circulation, rendering poisons and oils that increase bleeding ineffective against them. They are good at defending themselves against Witcher's tricks, but they are vulnerable to fire and can be knocked down and finished off as they try to get up. Drogs. As an Arc Wraith, the Drog never stoops to doing anything with its own hands. It has lackeys for that, always wraiths, revenants or other restless spirits. Having been a king or a commander in life, the Drog retains its charisma in death, and its deathly subordinates always blindly obey its orders. Thus, one needs to exterminate all manor servants on the way to its underground palace, wilderness keep, or other foreboding abode. Only then can one face the Drog itself. That's literally tradition for you. The Drog can be described in various ways, as has been said, but is always a lethal foe. Forget its huge strength, invulnerability to pain, fearlessness and bloodlust. One cannot just defeat a Drog using conventional means. As with every wraith, there is some tragic event connected to it, forcing the creature to remain among the living. The Draug is untouchable, unreachable for anyone who is not part of that story. That is why the mythical hero has to get involved in various brawls and pass through many trials. By overcoming these obstacles, he enters the Draug's world and becomes worthy of facing the monstrosity. The Wraith's leader is so powerful that it mocks simple Witcher's tricks. The one sure thing in fighting the Draug, it must be said, is a silver sword. The Draugrs are absolutely bound by the Draug's orders. They feel no fear or pain. They cannot be forced to retreat. They are the ideal soldiers. Their coming is always sudden, so one must remain consistently vigilant in the presence of their leader, for his subordinates appear in dire moments to defend the Draug and tip the scales in his favor. These wraiths are protected by heavy armor and a shield. A Witcher should first force them to expose themselves, knocking away their shields and grinding down their armor. The best chance to wound the creature comes from the Draug's charges. One should evade the attack and lunge at its unprotected back. The monsters are slow in battle, so one needs to weaken them methodically with strong sword blows, and then finish them off. In life, Draugrs were soldiers or knights, and in death they retained their proficiency in combat, so one needs to defend oneself against their blows, their lethal counter-strikes in particular, with extreme care. The Draugrs are susceptible to spectre oil, so one should coat a silver blade with it before battle. Poisons and oils increasing bleeding are of no use. These wraiths can be defeated using fire, but the silver sword is of course the most effective. And finally we've got earth elementals. The earth element always serves its summoner faithfully. It is most often employed as a guard, as it is tireless and always vigilant. It does have senses as living beings do, but it always recognizes the presence of intruders. It has no fear of monsters, let alone humans. This monster's most dangerous weapons are its mighty arms. A blow from the earth elemental is akin to a battering ram hitting a city gate and turns a normal human into a bloody stain. Its riposts are especially dangerous, for this apparently sluggish creature can strike swiftly as well as strongly. Thus one has to defend oneself against its blows with all available means, including potions and signs. According to the fight fire with fire rule, or rather the fight strength with strength, one should also use strong blows against the elemental, since only such attacks can grind its stone body down. The earth elemental's body is solid rock, so the creature cannot be poisoned or blooded. It is best to summon a team of dwarven miners to use pickaxes on it until it is done for. However, if the Witcher has no such team at hand, he should use regular means. The earth elemental, though it has no weakness, can be beaten. Well, I call that a whole lot of extra very useful information for the future once we will encounter all of these beasts. I mean, we're a Witcher. We will encounter them. It's only a matter of time.
The big guy is right when he says it's only a matter of time, for our first encounter with one of these beasties might come sooner than expected. Something is lurking down in the closed mines below, in need of killing.